Assalamu alaikum. This is Maria Zulfikar welcoming you all to the English news from BTV Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. Government's focus on constitutional, judicial and administrative reforms, says Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus. Draft of National Charter to be prepared by July, says National Consensus Commission's Vice Chairman Dr. Ali Riaz. Public notice summoning accused of July-August killing Sheikh Hasina and Asaduzaman Khan Kamal published in two daily newspapers. Tourist police relentlessly providing security to tourists as tourism importance of Chattogram region increasing day by day. United States looking at better than ceasefire between Israel and Iran, says President Donald Trump. And Shanto and Mushfiqur turns propel Bangladesh to 292 on day first of first test against Sri Lanka at Galle. Viewers, those were the headlines. Now moving on to the details. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus thanked Australia for resuming visa processing operations in Dhaka when the newly appointed High Commissioner of Australia to Bangladesh, Susan Rail, called on him at the State Guest House, Jamuna, in the capital today. The High Commissioner said visa applications can be submitted online. During the meeting, they discussed ongoing reform efforts of the interim government, election preparations, expansion of bilateral trade and the Rohingya crisis. Highlighting the reform initiatives, the Chief Advisor said his government is going through a series of important changes following chaotic times. Professor Yunus said his government's focus remains on constitutional, judicial and administrative reforms, which are the foundations for building a stronger Bangladesh. He said they are working closely with all political parties to ensure a smooth transition, and next month the July Charter will be launched on the anniversary of the historic July uprising. The Chief Advisor also talked about preparations for the upcoming national elections. Regarding electoral support, the Australian High Commissioner Susan Rail announced Australia would provide 2 million Australian dollars through the UNDP to help enhance the institutional, technical and operational capacity of the Bangladesh Election Commission. Touching on the Rohingya issue, Professor Yunus urged Australia to scale humanitarian aid for 1 million Rohingya refugees living in Bangladesh. Senior Secretary and SDG Coordinator Lamia Morshed and Director General of East Asia and Pacific Wing of Foreign Ministry Mohammad Noor Alam were present on the occasion. Vice Chairman of the National Consensus Commission, Dr. Ali Riaz, said the draft of the National Charter can be prepared by July. If the cooperation of political parties continues, the desired goal can be reached. He said this at the second phase of discussions organized at the Foreign Service Academy in the capital today. Representatives of 30 political parties including BNP, NCP, Islami Andolon, Nagorik Oikko, Gono Odhikar Porishod and Gono Shongoti Andolon participated in the discussion. The main topics of discussion included Article 70 of the Constitution, women's representation in Parliament, nomination of the chairperson of the Standing Committee, bicameral Parliament and the appointment process of the Chief Justice. Dr. Ali Riaz said it may not be possible to agree on everything, but in the larger interest of the nation and the state. It is necessary to reach an acceptable position despite differences. If this trend of cooperation continues, it will be possible to prepare the National Charter by July. He said if the discussions continue, it is possible to create a unified national framework which will serve as the foundation for future political stability and public trust. According to the directive of the International Crimes Tribunal, a public notice has been published today in two daily newspapers summoning the accused of the July-August killing, Sheikh Hasina and Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal, to appear before the tribunal by 24th of June. Prosecutor Ghazi M.H. Tamim revealed the information during a media briefing today. Expressing hope that the accused will appear before the tribunal on the scheduled date in the interest of establishing justice, the prosecutor said if the accused do not appear, the tribunal will be appoint state-designated lawyers for them. The International Crimes Tribunal, too, formally commenced its proceedings to ensure justice for the crimes against humanity committed during the July-August killings. This new phase began today with a reception ceremony for the judges at the International Crimes Tribunal. The three-member bench of Tribunal 2 is headed by Chairman Justice Nazrul Islam Chaudhry. The other members of the bench are Justice Muhammad Mujibur Rahman Mia and Justice Muhammad Monjurul Wasid. Attorney General Muhammad Asaduzzaman, Chief Prosecutor Muhammad Tazul Islam, and senior lawyers were present at the event. Tribunal 2 Chairman Justice Nazrul Islam Chaudhry said no threat will deter the pursuit of justice for the perpetrators of the July-August killings. He emphasized their firm commitment to ensuring justice, placing their trust in God. Later, the Attorney General and the Chief Prosecutor talked with the journalists, underscoring the importance of upholding international standards in establishing justice for the July-August killings. Brazilian ambassador to Bangladesh, Paulo Fernando Dias Ferreira, called on Bangladesh Nationalist Party Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir at BNP chairperson's Gulshan office in the capital today. BNP Standing Committee member and chairperson's Foreign Affairs Advisory Committee member Amir Khosru Mahmood Chaudhry and BNP Organizing Secretary and Special Assistant to the chairperson's Foreign Policy Advisory Committee Shama Ubaid also present at the meeting. Amir Khosru said Brazil has assured of all kinds of cooperation when the country's elected government comes, mentioning Brazil as one of the world's leading agricultural countries. Amir Khosru said Brazil is especially interested in working in the agricultural sector of Bangladesh. The tourism importance of the Chattogram region is increasing day by day. From Lohagara to Fotikchari, Sitakundo to Mirasharai, there are a number of tourist spots. In the middle of this region is the vast Potenga Sea Beach in Chattogram city. The city's Forest Lake and Chattogram Zoo are also popular tourist destinations alongside several sea beaches of Anwara, Bashkhali and Bashbaria. The Chattogram region of the tourist police is responsible for the security of about 40 tourist spots in Chattogram. They are also aware of their responsibility to protect the environment of the tourist spots. They are relentlessly fulfilling their responsibility to provide security to the tourists, ensuring their safety. The tourist police urged the tourists to be aware and follow the tourism rules to make travel risk-free. The tourist police sources said alongside increasing manpower information technology support will make Chattogram's tourist spots more attractive. Now, international news. U.S. President Donald Trump said they are looking at better than a ceasefire between Israel and Iran after warning people earlier to evacuate Iranian capital Tehran. Trump made the comments after his early departure from the G7 summit in Canada. Meanwhile, Iran and Israel are exchanging fire for a fifth day. Iranian media reported explosions in Tehran overnight, while Israeli military said Iran fired 30 missiles at the country. Blasts rocked Tehran and air raid sirens went off in Tel Aviv as Iran said it was preparing for what it called the largest and most intense missile attack in history on Israeli soil after a strike on Iranian state television. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said killing Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei would not escalate hostilities but would end the conflict. US President Donald Trump issued a threat on social media ordering all residents of Tehran to flee and saying that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. The death toll from Israel's attacks on Iran has risen to more than 220, including 70 women and children. More than 20 people have been killed in Iranian attacks on Israel. At least 56 Palestinians have been killed since dawn across Gaza, including 38 people who were seeking aid for their hungry families at distribution points, mostly in the Rafah area in the south. The United Nations Human Rights Chief condemned Israel's conduct of its war in the besieged enclave where deadly Israeli attacks continue unabated as the country exchanges missile attacks with regional foe Iran. Speaking on Monday, Volker Turk said Israel's means and methods of warfare are inflicting horrifying, unconscionable suffering on Palestinians in Gaza, where more than 20 months of Israeli attacks have killed at least 55,362 people, including thousands of children. More than 300 people have been killed and more than 2,000 wounded so far near the perilous distribution sites.